757. Pump it up. Speak up. 757. Pump it up. Speak up. 757. Pump it up. Speak up. 757. Pump it up. 757. Speak up. Let's get back to the basics. Topics from us to you on a regular basis. Reevaluate, heal ourselves, save our children. Senseless crimes be happening too often. Bring the love back, pimp smack the hate. Let's see what we can do. No, it's not too late. So get the coffee up in your cups. Open your eyes, and speak up. 757. Pump it up. 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 757. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Pump it up. Pump it up.
They will let me. Sometimes they I rehearse my speech. Regular timer talk. I think that's such a good idea. Timer talk. She wanna go sign her name.
We had a good time last time, didn't we?
I got a book.
Excuse me.
You all right?
Make sure everything was queued up in here for you. Oh, you got it. You got it. Okay, as long as you got it. No. Go.
ROTC Color Guard from Maury High School under the direction of Commander Russ Mabiblia. Please rise, remain standing for the presentation of colors and the recital of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Face. Peace and pulse.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight with other supporters in protest of the demotion of Dr. Rhonda Ambrose, a person that has been a role model for young women, a dedicated teacher, instructional specialist, and principal during her tenure. She has dedicated over 20 years in the Norfolk Public Schools and should not be demoted for any reason. Thank you.
What we need to realize is that there is a lot of work that needs to be done to Booty Washington High School. And recognizing that it's a budgetary issue, and while the school district was not funded to the level that it wanted to be this year, that made it even a greater challenge for Booker T. One of the thoughts that I have, and I'm going to suggest it to the other 7 members of the City Council, is that we evaluate BTW and find out exactly what's wrong with it. And we might have to advance using money and then debit you later. If you
Historic Booker T. Washington High School, the only Norfolk high school to hold graduation in 1959 due to the closing of the secondary schools of the city to comply with the laws of massive resistance. 13 of my 15 siblings are graduates of this school, making it a total of 51 when all family and extended family members are counted. All over the world, my family branches out to include 2 retired state Supreme Court justices, Georgia and Virginia, and even my daughter who sits there with me, who is the current Teacher of the Year. All products of my family at the great Booker T. Washington High School.
Good evening. My name is Percy Johnson. I'm here to represent the Booker T. Washington class of 1961.
Good evening. I'm Tony
Ronde brothers. I'm a 1982 graduate of Booker T. I'm here because I went over to speak to the kids for the awards event. And my theme was from Booker T to gain 2 of the NBA finals. For those that don't know, I referee the NBA. And I referee game 2 of the NBA finals. But I'm a product of Booker T. I'm a product of Zeke Avery, Mervis Thomas, all those teachers that were there. And I went over to the school and I looked around the start. When you walk up, there's mold and everything outside, and it's pressure washed. I talked to the kids and they're dark. The hope that came from the banquet for giving them that little trophy seemed to mean the world to them. There was a kid there that bat 457 in baseball. And Booker T had the worst baseball team in the entire league. He will be lost because the school was lost. When I got involved earlier in the year with the school, I found out they didn't have any uniforms for the baseball team. So my nonprofit bought the uniforms for the baseball team. I found out they didn't have any bets. So I contacted Major League Baseball and we had bets sent to the school. Then I found out they didn't have any balls. And we got Major League Baseball to send them balls. And so I started looking around and I started talking to the athletic director. And she was telling me what type of budget she has. And I don't know anything about this stuff, so I don't know what you're working with, how you do this or whatever. That's your job, that's why we elect you. But I do know the problem. And the problem is that there's not going to be anybody that has the story from Booker T to gain 2 of the NBA finals because they don't have the resources. And so when the rumor flies around that Booker T is going to be closed, the rumor is flying around because the school looks like it's already closed. And I would ask you this question. What, and Dr. Boone, that was a great video. Bruce and I watched it from the other room. But I would ask you the question, what would that video look like if it was shot at Booker T? Thank you.
I'll break our own protocol. Had I heard that part of the rumor, I would have included that in my opening statement. There's been no discussion whatsoever by this board about changing the just want to make that clear.
My name is Charles Orr. I reside in the Ingleside neighborhood in Norfolk, Virginia. The motto in Ingleside is, keep the pride in Ingleside. I came this evening to say a few words about pride. I'm a 1962 graduate of Booker T. Washington High School, Norfolk, Virginia. In a couple of months, we'll be celebrating 55 years of graduating from that school. I'm looking at the school through then and now eyes. I thumbed through my 1962 yearbook and I noticed that in 1962, Booker T had 2,640 students. In 1962, Booker T had 99 members on staff. In 1962, the marching band numbered 120. Tonight, I want to say a few words about the word pride. The dictionary defines it as a sense of one's own proper dignity or value. One should not be robbed of his or her pride. Pride is the pleasure or satisfaction taken from one's achievements. The family unit is there to show and support each other during a time of crisis in the family. If the Booker T family is here, make some noise, stand up, do something.
I'd like to ask the members of the Booker T. Washington Concerned Citizens to please stand at this time. We want to thank you for this opportunity. We want to thank you for the hard work that you do for our students. But we are concerned not only for Booker T. Washington High School, we are concerned for our feeder schools. Because as our feeder schools are in turmoil, our children who move forward are involved in turmoil when they get to high school. And so we're not just focusing on what's going on in Booker T. We're focusing on what's going on in the city of Norfolk, Norfolk Public Schools.
One, the valedictorian and salutatorian of that class, June 1961, were both awarded 4-year scholarships to Harvard University. A full ride, both of them. And they're since they have gone on from there to make great strides. Elaine Jones, a 1961 graduate, head of the NACP Legal Defense Fund in New York City. So these are the products that have come out of Booker T. We know what Booker T can do, but they can only do it if you help them do it. The kids have to have that pride, like they said. Walking to school when the area is flooded is not a pride thing. You took the bus away, granted, then you took it away. So it's going to still rain. It's going to still be bad weather in the winter. And those kids have to come to school wet and sit in school in damp clothes all day. That's not building pride. That's not even still doing what you want to learn anything. Secondly, the mobile mildew. Future health problems are down the line. Major problems. Problems with your teachers for lawsuits somewhere along the line because they're in there breathing that mold every day too. And when they have to retire early, that's cutting into their life plan. And I'm sure they're going to be angry and probably start filing, and they know that people are speaking out about it. And the other thing that I wanted to say, you have a title under the name Booker T. Washington School of the Arts. I'm kind of puzzled. What does that mean? Performing arts? Graphic arts? What type of arts are you talking about? Nobody seems to know. So if you're a school of the arts and no one knows what type of arts are being taught there, who would want to come there to be a student and not know what type of art classes are, what they can be taught that can take them on to a future endeavor? So, I mean, and you did say earlier that you have no idea for closing school. Do you have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 15, 20-year plan, or keeping Booker T open, up and alive? You did say they're not intended to be closed today, tomorrow, but you didn't say it. Yeah. So I beseech you, and I just say, it's not about us, concerned citizens, the Alumni Association. We're here to help in any way we can. We love those kids. They're our kids. Because they say it takes a village to raise a child. And we are that village, the alumni and the people around me that live here in the city of Norfolk. We're that village. Call us and tell us what we can do to help solve this problem. We just want to help, not him.
My name is Bruce Smith. I am a native of Norfolk, 1981 graduate of Booker T. Washington High School, and a taxpayer in the city of Norfolk. I am here today because of disparity. Disparity, neglect, years and years of neglect. This is not what we should be here for. We should not be here to stand up for these students because of the neglect of the leadership that is taking place among those that are underserved in our communities. But because they have no voice, we have to stand here and speak out to them. This is our outcry to you for help, to do what is right and to do what is necessary. I have a report that's here about the school systems in Norfolk Public Schools that talked about the different disparities that is going on with regard to Virginia Beach and Chesapeake. And when you compare the disparity and the allocation of funds compared to their school systems, it is atrocious. But furthermore, one of the things that we are not doing is providing our kids an opportunity to thrive. We talk to them and preach to them about you must act right, you must talk right, you must behave correctly. Well, what are we doing? We are setting a poor example for these kids to have an opportunity to thrive. And that's disturbing. I had an opportunity to visit my alma mater before I left for my trip. And I came back specifically early to come and address the school board. But I saw what was taking place, and it looked miserable. Looking through their eyes, I can only imagine the despair and the hopelessness that they feel. But in conclusion, I saw the mold. I saw the roof where apparently it leaks. I saw the condemned tennis court. I saw the air conditioning unit that's some 20 years old. I saw the bleachers in which some lady fell through. And there's a lawsuit, outstanding lawsuit right now. When are we going to take responsibility and do what's right by these kids? Enough is enough. This is taking place for far too long, and we must act now. We've got 3 months before these kids have to go back to school. That mold needs to be cleaned up. That tennis court needs to be repaired. The baseball field needs to be in regulation-sized baseball field, so we can provide these kids opportunity to thrive. Thank you very much for allowing me.
My name is Sharice Cherry, and I'm actually speaking on behalf of Beverly Byram Wright tonight. I am a parent of a student who attends Ruffner Academy, and I'm here speaking in regards to the demotion of our beloved principal, Sally Cook. When my daughter was in the 5th grade, she applied for every specialty program that there was in the city of Norfolk and was accepted into every single program. So when she came home, she said, "Mom, we get to go shadow at Ruffner. I'm going to go to Ruffner and I want to see how it is." So I said, okay. So we signed her up and she went and she came back and she said, "I love it. That's where I want to go. I don't want to go anywhere else. This is where I want to go." So because of the stigma attached to Ruffner Academy, I thought to myself, no, we're going to try a couple more schools. Let's just try. And she stuck with Ruffner. The first day of school, she came home and she said, once again, "I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I love it, I love it, I love it." So I said, okay, fine. I'm going to love it too because you love it. So for the open house, I was one of the first parents in there, and I was greeted by some of the awesome teachers at Ruffner Academy, but one person that stood out the most to me was Sally Cook. And when I talked to her, I said, "My baby's going here. Please make sure that you're taking care of my baby inside of this school." And she looked at me, and I could tell all of my fears had ceased by the comforting words that she told me, and I knew that my child was going to be taken care of inside of Ruffner Academy. So when we heard the news that our principal is no longer going to be at the principal, and even with the Young Scholar Program being removed out of Ruffner, I still knew that all of the children who are still there, the children who need her, we're talking about a school who, many people, they don't want to go to Ruffner. No teachers want to teach there, but when you have someone who's committed and who wants to be there, the way that Sally Cook wants to be there, the way that our teachers want to be there, why are we taking them from these students? She's only been there for 2 years, and what we've been told is because it's low SOL scores. What we've been told is because it's low teacher morale. But here you have teachers who are willing to go on their lunch break in March and protest all the way from Ruffner and to come down here and to state how much they love their principal and how much they want her to stay there. When you have someone who's helping build a village, I know that SOL scores are important, and yes, we all want our students to have this stellar education. But when you have students who aren't eating at night, and you have students who can't even have their clothes washed, and you have the principal taking their clothes home and washing their clothes, why are we taking away from this? We deserve to know why these principals are being taken away. Thank you.
Last year when Ms. Cook came in, she had a staff that was already there. She had to work with that staff. I was in 7th grade. This year she let me know that I was moving to 6th grade. I didn't want to move to 6th grade, but she did that because that was what was best for the strength of our school. This school year she has come into our plannings, given us strategies to help us improve how we deliver instruction. And despite having an almost new team this year, we were still able to not only keep the SOL scores we had, but increase them. A lot of our staff who were there last year did not get on board with her strategies and the things that she was implementing, and they're not here this year. This year we have a much more consistent, a much more dedicated staff working under Ms. Cook. The only thing consistent with the denied accreditation status that Ruffner has been there for 7-8 years is the inconsistency in administration. You cannot change a school from undo all these things that have been done in 2 years. So if we demote Ms. Cook in 2 more years, we're going to be in the same place looking for a new administrator.
Facts.
My name is Jerry Dickey. I've been an NDS employee for 12 years. My first 11 years were served as the middle school math department chair and math teacher at Norfolk Middle School. This is my first year at Ruffner Academy, but I felt like I was there for years because of the family atmosphere. I currently serve as a Title I data specialist. I'm here advocating for our phenomenal instructional leader at Ruffner Academy, Ms. Sally Cook. My focus is not to highlight Ms. Cook as an awesome person, but to highlight her as an awesome instructional leader. This year, the preliminary SOL data shows that over 60% of our students who, as stated before, poverty-stricken, worrying about clean uniforms, lack of school supplies, not knowing where they're going to lay their head at night. Over 60% of our student population at Ruffner demonstrated mastery on their science and math SOLs, and over 78% of the student population demonstrated mastery on their history SOLs. Some of the faculty and staff were afforded the opportunity to share our concerns with Dr. Boone, and we thank her for her accepting our invitation for a meeting. And our reading scores were the main focal point. However, Dr. Boone and the school board members, please ask yourself, did you all equip Ms. Cook and Ruffner Academy with all of the necessary tools for success? I'll be the first to answer, no. Ruffner Academy went an entire school year without a reading specialist as required according to the standards of quality. HR eliminated the position due to being unable to find a qualified individual to fill the position, therefore Ruffner wasn't given necessary tools for success. In closing, please afford Ms. Cook an opportunity to return next school year and lead Ruffner Academy to success. Make the right decision and do right by Ms. Cook, the Bulldog faculty and staff, and most importantly, the kids in Ruffner community.
Dr. Smith. He's an amazing educator in the city of Norfolk. We are having a shortage of strong black men in our community, and now we're going to remove him. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was our fault. My fault.
Dr. Cohen Smith over at J. Cox Elementary. We have been, community volunteers over there for years now, and I can also say from the time that he's been there, he's made himself a visible person for that school. He's an advocate for the students. You can tell the morale of the students in general has increased, and
to pull him out of something that kids have finally started to trust someone who's an adult is kind of crazy. You want to continue to build them up, not break them back down. So it's like, let's do what's right.
Okay, and then at the end, we're going to have one big thing.
So, what media are you with?
So, we're not going to back to
No, we're just going to back. We don't have time.
The destiny is 6th grade instead of 5th. Say to her, keep fighting. Keep fighting, don't give up. God has the last say so. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me get that mic.
This failure is demonstrated in the total neglect and the decreased enrollment at Booker T. Washington High School. No high school in the city of Norfolk has undergone the level of neglect that Booker T has incurred. The neglect goes beyond the physical plant, as well as it encompasses the failure to provide available resources to support student success. There is clearly a lack of concern and unequal attention to the building, faculty, and students attending Booker T. Washington High School. Our concerns include, but are not limited to, the presence of mold, as we previously reported, continues to be a problem, and you heard this tonight from several people. While the school system may be working on this and some other issues mentioned, we, the community, alumni, and concerned citizens, will continue to address these problems. Booker T does not have any spring sports, home games, because of the following reasons. The athletic department must use some of their funds to transport students to other locations because they can't have it at school. Tennis courts have been demolished. There's no dugout for softball games. There's no girls soccer in the evening because the lights are dim. The track is outdated. The bleachers in the gym, as you've already heard, someone fell through, cannot retract. Guardrails and safety issues are not provided. Equipment required to make Booker T a school of the arts is obsolete. The school has what appears to be CRT monitors available for classroom use, which contain lead, and the only flat TV screen is in the teacher's Wow. The multimedia class and theater class needs to be updated with soundproof walls. The carpet needs to be replaced, preferably with linoleum. Tripods are needed for the studio cameras. Updated software and computers are necessary for the photography class, as well as the multimedia lab. A light board that works is required. The addition of a recording studio is needed as an added means to recruit students and to enhance the specialty program. It is noted that some improvements have been made in the auditorium, and we do thank you for that. However, while there are new chairs, there are no numbers on the backs of the seats. No numbers. Which to help facilitate ticket sales and seat arrangements of signs. The lighting was replaced with substandard wattage. The original lighting was 90 watts LED and was replaced by maintenance of 28 watts. It was stated that lights could not be dim with the 90 LED. However, research states that it can be dim. Other lights were replaced with 200-watt household bulbs. Several requests were made to retrieve the expensive state-of-the-art bulbs, but the requests were never answered. In closing, we want to again remind you that our students deserve to learn in an environment that provides support to their educational needs. This can be achieved at Booker T. Washington High School if the school system, what seems to be the impression, ceases its constructive efforts to close the school by withholding make this school successful. Finally, we are told the school cannot be power washed, so we are requesting that the building be painted inside and out. Let's make our exterior and grounds presentable so that we, the community, can continue the pride, as mentioned, that is derived from the rich history and legacy of Booker T. Washington High School in Norfolk. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me.
My goal in speaking with you today is for you to reconsider the decision made to let Ms. Cook go as principal at Ruffner Academy. Not only is she a good role model, but she is a strong administrator with a passion to make a difference. She is here for our students and has shown growth with limited resources. Out of the numerous programs Ms. Cook has implemented, the one I would like to highlight is the Justification Student of the Bell. This strategy has ensured that students not only know how to solve a problem, but also helps them understand why and develops the critical thinking skill that requires a student to be a 21st century student. Under her leadership, I was able to make a 40-point gain based on the strategies she has implemented. Considering the challenges that we face at Ruffner, Ms. Cook has made vast improvements. In closing, please allow Ms. Cook more time to show you all the positive changes here at Ruffner Academy. Thank you.
Back, pimp smack the hate. Let's see what we can do. No, it's not too late. So get the coffee up in your cups. Open your eyes. Speak up. 757. Dump it up. 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 757. Speak up. Speak up. Do you have a business that you want to promote live on our show? Send all inquiries to speakup757@yahoo.com.